The official government guideline for protein is 0.36 grams per pound of body weight. For a 180-pound man, that's about 65 grams a day. That number was never designed to help you lose fat or keep muscle after 35. It was designed to stop you from getting sick. In this video, I'm going to show you the actual number research supports for men over 35, why your body needs more of it than it used to, and exactly how to hit it without living on chicken and rice. Here's what we're covering. First, why the standard protein guideline is almost meaningless for a man over 35, and what actually changes inside your body that changes the math. Second, the actual number, not a vague eat more protein, a specific calculated target based on your body weight. And third, how to actually hit that number every day without meal prepping like a bodybuilder or forcing down protein shakes you don't enjoy. Let's start with why the old guideline doesn't apply to you anymore. To understand why the old number fails you, you need to understand what protein actually does. Every day, your body breaks down muscle tissue and rebuilds it. This happens constantly, whether you train or not. The rebuilding process is called muscle protein synthesis, and it's driven almost entirely by the protein you eat. In your 20s, this system is efficient. A relatively small amount of protein is enough to trigger a strong rebuilding response. But starting in your mid-30s, something called anabolic resistance sets in. Your muscle tissue becomes less sensitive to protein. The same amount of protein that used to trigger a strong rebuilding response now triggers a smaller one. Your body needs a larger dose of protein to get the same signal it used to get from a smaller one. This isn't a small effect. Research on aging and muscle protein synthesis suggests men in their late 30s and 40s often need meaningfully more protein per meal than men in their 20s to trigger the same muscle-building response. And here's why this matters specifically for fat loss. When you're eating in a calorie deficit, which is the mechanism behind all fat loss, your body is already short on energy. If protein intake is too low, your body doesn't selectively burn fat to make up the difference. It starts breaking down muscle tissue for fuel alongside fat. This is why some men diet down, step on the scale, see the number they wanted, and look softer, not leaner. The weight came off, but a meaningful portion of it was muscle, not fat. Low protein plus anabolic resistance plus a calorie deficit is the exact combination that produces that outcome. So if 65 grams a day was never enough, and your body is now less responsive on top of that, what's the actual target? Here's the number that research on muscle preservation and body composition actually supports for men over 35. 0.7 to 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight per day. For a 180-pound man, that's between 125 and 180 grams of protein a day, roughly double what the standard guideline suggests. This range isn't arbitrary. It's built around research showing that higher protein intakes, well above the general RDA, better preserve lean muscle mass during a calorie deficit, particularly in men in this age range who are also dealing with reduced anabolic response. You don't need the very top of that range unless you're in an aggressive deficit or training intensely. For most men, 0.8 grams per pound is a strong, sustainable target. High enough to protect muscle, realistic enough to actually hit. Now, the objection you've probably already heard. This idea comes from research on people who already have existing kidney disease, where protein restriction is sometimes used as part of treatment. It does not apply to men with normal, healthy kidney function. For a healthy man, there is no reliable research showing that protein intake in the range we're discussing causes kidney damage. This is one of the most persistent nutrition myths still in circulation, and it's worth retiring. So now you know the number. The next question is the one that actually matters day to day. Most men who hear this number assume they're already close to it. Almost none are. A typical day for a man over 35 might look like this: cereal or toast for breakfast, a sandwich for lunch, a reasonably protein-heavy dinner. That day often totals somewhere between 70 and 90 grams of protein. Well short of the target, even though it feels like a normal, adequate diet. There are two reasons for this gap. First, breakfast and lunch are almost always the weak points. Most men load protein into dinner and get almost none of it earlier in the day. Second, there's a practical ceiling on how much protein your body can effectively use in a single sitting for muscle protein synthesis, generally somewhere in the 30 to 50 gram range per meal. Eating 10 grams at breakfast and 90 grams at dinner doesn't average out the way it looks like it should on paper. Spreading intake across 3 to 4 meals is more effective than concentrating it into one. Here's how to actually hit your number without restructuring your entire life around food. Step 1. Fix breakfast first. This is almost always the single biggest gap. A typical breakfast of toast or cereal contains close to 0 protein. 3 or 4 whole eggs, or a serving of Greek yogurt with a scoop of protein powder mixed in, gets you 25 to 35 grams before you've even left the house. This one change alone closes most of the daily gap. Step 2. Build a protein anchor into lunch. Lunch is the second most commonly underloaded meal, especially for men eating out or grabbing something quick. A simple rule: whatever you're eating for lunch, make sure a distinct protein source, chicken, a can of tuna, a protein shake, cottage cheese, is sitting on the plate or in the bag alongside it, not hoped for as an afterthought. Step 3. Use protein-forward defaults, not perfect meals. You don't need to weigh every gram. You need default choices that are naturally high in protein, so the math works out without constant tracking. Greek yogurt instead of regular yogurt. Cottage cheese instead of a snack bar. A protein shake as a top-up when you're short, not a meal replacement. Chicken, fish, or lean beef as the base of dinner rather than a side. Step 4. Use one shake as insurance, not a strategy. Whole food should make up the majority of your protein intake. It's more filling and generally comes with other nutrients you need. But one protein shake a day, timed wherever your schedule is tightest, is a fast, low-effort way to close a 20 to 30 gram gap without planning an extra meal around it. Step 5. Track for 1 week only. You don't need to track protein forever. Track honestly for 7 days using any free app, see where your real number lands against your target, and identify which meal is costing you the most. Once you know your gap, you can close it with 2 or 3 small repeatable changes, and stop tracking. So let's go back to where we started. The official guideline said 65 grams a day was enough. Now you know why that number was never built for a man over 35 trying to lose fat without losing muscle, and what the research-backed target actually is: 0.7 to 1 gram per pound of body weight. For most men, somewhere around 130 to 160 grams a day, spread across 3 or 4 meals instead of stacked into dinner. This isn't about eating like a bodybuilder. It's about giving your body the one input it needs to make sure the weight you lose in a deficit is fat, not the muscle you've spent years building and are now fighting harder than ever to keep. The number matters. But so does the fact that it's completely achievable with a few small, repeatable changes to how you already eat. If this video helped you understand things a bit clearer, I appreciate you taking the time to watch it. What I focus on here is simple, realistic approaches that middle-aged men can actually stick to, because that's what gets real results. If that's something you're working on, you can stick around for more.